Yeah. Buddha Peso. Smoking mirrors uncut. Listen, it's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. Yeah. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us. Listen, smoking mirrors be the station. Them boys uncut raw, no hesitation. Just tune in, the vibes are so amazing. It's all real talk here, that's word to Jason. Shout out to Jay Lee, them boys on a mission. Gunning for the #1 spot, pay attention. Knocking out the competition, Sonny listen. In Detroit, serving game like a piston. Shot clock, jump shot, all net with a feeling. The squad set it off, cause a riot in the building. Syndicates to bed, this ain't suited for the children. And talk is cheap, when they speak, you see millions. Turn it up one time, if you looking for smoke, then pull it up online. It's right there. Look in the mirror, first glance, it's quite clear. That B-more got them scared like a nightmare. They blowing smoke through any city, take a flight there. And guaranteed to ring bells like a bike fair. Then Debo the whole set, they don't fight fair. Cause smoking mirrors gaining buzz like a light, yeah. You know? Raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Smoking mirrors, raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Yeah, it's smoking mirrors, raw and uncut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us.
Welcome to another episode of Smoking Mirrors Uncut. It's your boy Jay Lee. We got our other two kings, Detroit. Quiet, Detroit. You got your mic off.
Chew.
There you go. We got B More.
Yo.
And we got a special guest hailing from Texas.
Texas.
That's
What
right.
y'all know about those Texas boys?
My boy Raven. What's going on, Raven? How you doing?
How's it? I'm doing all right. How's everybody doing?
Blessed.
Cool.
I'm so glad that I had the opportunity of working with this good brother right here, Raven, and just chopping it up with him, and we connected and got real cool, and it's good to have you on, you know.
Yeah, appreciate it.
When you headed back home?
Should be probably Wednesday morning. I was
Wednesday
looking
morning.
for a black-owned place for manicure or something so I can make sure I look presentable for the queen and the family and everything, but I may have to, if I don't find nothing in Philly or the deal with Delaware tomorrow, I may just take it back to Texas and find me something back over there.
Okay. And I do commend him, like, since he's been down here, he's going out of his way to support all black-owned businesses. Everywhere he's eaten has been black-owned businesses. He supports black-owned companies.
I tried to. I done been in like 5, L&G's, Tasties, Evelyn's, the drop squad kitchen over there. Got the vegan deal. First time I ate yam chips, so it's new to it. I ain't used to not eating a sandwich without meat, not looking like meat, but so it was good. I ain't leave nothing behind. I've been really pleased with Delaware. It's a lot of African American positivity over there in the neighborhood, especially working with Jason. And I didn't know it was these many brothers up here in this area, Philly, Delaware, Jersey. So it's just like a whole different vibe to it. I just wasn't aware of it. Yeah.
And he actually found a soul food spot in Salem too, right? A breakfast spot, right?
I got a question though. How are you finding them? Because I
Google.
think that's a big. Okay, all right, cool.
I Google them, just like I found black-owned banks. When the bank that I've been dealing with since I was 19 declined me on $800, and then even though they changed the businesses 3 times, I was like, man, $800. I've been coming here all this time. So I just Googled up, see if black folks had owned the bank, and they did. And I mean, we've been doing good things ever since the beginning of time. The red light, the hairbrush, the toothbrush, the air condition, everything. So why not have banks? We got all these HBCUs. They were already generating millions and being smart and making moves. So all I needed to do was just Google it and see what was out there. Just like the banks and the universities, the restaurants out here. I just Google and see what's available, and it's something that's out there. Same thing with the hotels.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's it.
That's
And
dope. Like, go ahead.
they have one spot in here called Grandma's Cafe, and the
That's in
gentleman was there.
Salem.
Yeah, that's in Salem right here. Because Jules Cafe was closed down due to COVID, and one of the African American queens that work at the post office told me, I asked her, did Jules Cafe, did it close down and relocate somewhere else? You know, maybe trying to restart up. She said no, but they do have another African American owned place in town, and it's uh it's called Grandma's Cafe. And so I went there, and the brother told me about whiting fish. See, I'm used to catfish down there in Texas, you know. So he said
Oh yeah.
whiting fish is what, you know, the brothers do up here. Other sisters, you know, mac and cheese and collard greens. And I said, okay, you know, a lot of y'all don't do cornbread up here, but you know, we
What?
What?
sacrifice, you know.
Yes, we
I don't know
do.
what you talking
I don't
about.
know
We
what you
do
talking
I
about.
cornbread.
don't-
I just had cornbread tonight.
oh, you did?
I
Special
did.
occasion.
Definitely.
Special
Yes.
occasion, huh?
Nah, that's
South
just regular
Jersey is
food.
country. South
South
Jersey
Jersey
is
country?
country.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I'm
Most
liking where I'm
definitely.
at. Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
it's
the,
Maybe
food- the,
I
maybe
mean,
not maybe not
It's
dirty
country
South
as
country,
hell. Yeah.
but they country.
It's
you ain't
country
gonna
enough.
see you ain't gonna see no
Yeah.
hogs walking around out here coming out the grass like back home.
Probably not as much, but you definitely get some wildlife. I mean, just down
Okay,
at the
okay.
plant, you done had bears down there, hogs. You know,
Yeah.
I've probably seen the coyotes coming in,
Coyotes,
What-
fox, deer,
Yeah,
fox.
fox, there, all that.
One thing I noticed is that since leaving Texas, in Texas the squirrels are brown. And before here, I went to Michigan and worked 2 months before coming to South Jersey. Well, the squirrels over there and where I was at in Michigan were black, and now that I'm
Oh
here,
yeah,
these squirrels are
Really?
gray.
yeah,
Yes, it's
Yup.
it's like a whole geological. I've never been that far
Yeah.
north,
Wow.
and I'm like,
DC.
really,
You can find some black squirrels in DC. I've seen
really.
some there. I've seen some
Okay.
there. Yeah.
No, I didn't know what was wrong with it. I thought something was. I'm like, what's wrong with this squirrel?
It's weird. It's weird. Yeah.
Wow. But I wanted to touch bases on some things going on in America right now, and I talked to Raven tonight because Raven has sent me something that actually went on in his hometown, and I want to play the video for everybody so everybody can see what I'm talking about real quick. So it starts off and it's quiet. I don't know why they didn't have any sound, but eventually the sound kicks in. So I guess
Okay.
we see him driving. And this, you said this happened.
It happened a few days ago. I don't know how long, but a buddy
Okay.
of mine, sometimes they kind of update me on kind of like what's going on in a local town. For
Okay.
you know, even with work, but he jumps out already and fired.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
jumps
whoa,
out.
whoa, 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 whoa.
1,000 block of Purtle, 1,000 block of Purtle, send me units now. Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! 41, we're in front of 1010 Purtle. Stage medics. First unit to get here, I need you to recover the gun. He dropped it just outside of Dodge Charger. Stay on the ground, do not move. Put your arms out to the side, Josh. Josh,
he
put your
knows.
arms out to the side.
Yes, you caught that.
Don't look like he moving.
He ain't moving on.
No, they have it blurred.
Hey, stay inside for me. Stay inside for me. It's somewhere on the ground. He pulled it out his waistband as he took off running.
He already trying to explain himself.
4113, you copy traffic? Therefore, just make sure you copy traffic. Hey, keep an eye on that house too. Yeah, the Cyrus's house. 41, see if County and Tech City can send units out here. We got a large crowd starting to gather. Josh, talk to me.
He ain't talking.
Exactly.
So evidently that's right in front of his house.
Is that where it was?
Well,
Because
I
I
think
didn't
it's
know whose
close.
home that was.
Put on log
Yeah,
at
I think
34.
it's
Had to pick up
somebody
the gun
else's
since we had a
house.
large crowd.
And I think his
Okay.
house is
Yeah.
close. Because I think whoever owns that house came out and he was like, I need you
Rob,
to stay
please
in.
don't start. Rob, I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit, Rob.
Yeah. You say you shot first, then told him, say,
Y'all
show
back
you your
up.
hands.
Y'all back up.
Wow.
'41, I need units here quick. Step it up.
Oh, boy. He
I don't care where they
nervous,
come
too.
from.
My man
Y'all
nervous.
back up. Back up.
He about to shoot somebody else.
Right.
Hey, first unit comes up. Get the guy in the white do-rag. Rob, he's the one instigating everything.
Instigating?
I can't get. Rob! Hey! Rob! Rob, I can't get medics here till y'all stop.
The officer know this neighborhood, obviously,
Right. Because he's calling everybody by name.
by name.
Y'all just wait. Yeah, you go. You see this? I can't get medics over here till we get this figured out.
I don't remember him calling.
He pulled out a
did he
gun.
call?
He got a couple felony warrants. He pulled a gun on me.
He said he
Did he
pulled
pull
a
the
gun.
gun?
On
See
him.
how that changed that quick? See how that changed?
That's what I said. Yeah, because that's why I text you. 4 minutes. He said he pulled a gun, but I didn't see it at the beginning of it. I just seen him
Hold on.
run.
When I get supervisor here, I'm gonna need y'all to determine if we need to bring the medics in or carry him out. All right, let's put him in cuffs.
Don't put him in cuffs.
10-4, have him
Put him in
staged. We got a large crowd right now.
No medics. We're going to cuff a body that's bleeding out.
I think that's
I can't hear what
protocol,
you're saying.
though,
I got a
'cause
lot
they
of
always do
screaming.
that.
Okay.
That's protocol, because they always do that. Every
See,
time.
for
It never fails.
some reason at the end right there, I noticed that his hand was over the cam, and I
Uh-huh.
didn't see, so I don't know whether or not he wanted to actually show whether or not he was still alive or not. But your hand don't mistakenly. These cops, these people are trained. They know what a body cam at. They know what a button is on because I think the button shows a light on it or something like that. I don't know what triggers it to show that the cam is active. But they know where it's at. It's routine. It's the same way with pulling the gun is routine. You know where everything is placed at on your belt. So you know where to go grab it when you need it. You know if it's off. You know if it's on.
So Raven, being that's your hometown,
Mm-hmm.
what are you hearing? What's the word that's going on down there?
What I heard was that this officer right here, a lot of people are upset that he's working for this police department now, which is in Lamarck, because he was terminated from Galveston because he was holding an individual's head underwater. And I think when backup arrived or whatever, it was stopped or something like that. That's what my sister was explaining to me today. And a friend of mine had sent me that, and he was saying that he had initially told me what happened. And he said he shot the guy in the back. He said the kid pulled a gun. He said he had a bad deal, a reputation or whatever. And I say that's always the normal go-to. If you have anything that's on your background or any type of run-in where they think is something with that's the first thing they throw out as the sidetrack you on it. If they kill you for it or shoot you for it, they're going to say, well, he was doing this. Well, he had warrants. Well, he used to be this or he had this charge. That's, and what that does is sidetrack you, or not you, but sidetrack some individuals that are watching the
Public.
TV screen. Yeah. And not just all the public, but some will sit and watch this. And instead of deciphering through the distractions, they'll focus on the distractions. Well, Well, if he wouldn't have been a bad person, the cops would have never did that to him. No, that does not mean that. That's something that's totally different. Focus and understand what was done. We're not talking about his reputation is coming up, whether or not he was an angel, because other people have things that they have not had exposed in their life. I've had things that's not exposed in my life, and maybe others have that they, I guess, wouldn't just want to willingly share. But we just talking about what happened right here. And the only thing that I seen was him pull up on the video. He bailed out the car. He bailed out his SUV, and he fired. That's what I seen. I don't see where the gentleman took a gun. If he was pointing the gun at him when he came around the corner, if he did and he dropped the gun, he's already fleeing now. But you fired in his back. This is what you have to focus on, and this is what the defense attorneys, whenever they go in and fight it, I don't know what the family will be given, but this is what you fight on. At this point, was he a threat? He's running away.
Right.
So, but I mean, this is what you hear in town. He was fired from Galveston, but he was sent, and another local, not I don't want to say fired, because I'm assuming he was not fired, because what I understood, I think it happened in Georgia, where the officers were talking about, one was listening, but he was still entertaining it. The other one was talking about him having a semi-automatic weapon or rifle, and he was anticipating the time when he was assuming that maybe it would be something like a race war, a serious division that would get physical, and that would give him the comfort with, I guess, unloading on people that he didn't like for that color or whatever it was. And so the police chief fired him. And so the discussion was asked, why fire him versus giving him a chance to resign? And the black police officer that's over that was saying that you fire him. Firing him makes him ineligible for working again in that state. He's able to go work in another state now. But so this guy, to me, if that rule still applies in Texas, he wasn't fired in Galveston. They just gave him the opportunity to walk away. So he doesn't have to relocate his family. If he has kids, they don't switch schools, or they just go to the next town, because people may have family there, and you go imposing your will on the next people, just like these other police departments do all the time, until you get fired. Then you go have to relocate. So that would kind of slow you down if you had to uproot and just go to another state. You don't want to have to uproot again. It would make your behavior, a little less aggressive. I would hope, but I guess maybe it don't,
So, Detroit, what's your thoughts on what you just witnessed?
Angry, disappointed. I'm going through a lot of emotions right now.
Right. Yeah.
By the time this is all over with, the young man that got shot in the back is going to be looked at as a serial killer.
Right.
They're going to dump every negative stereotype on this young man they can possibly find to justify that officer stepping out of his vehicle first and shooting that man. I think I counted 3 times, maybe 4. And then you're going to say, get your hands up. Is that look, you guys know officers. I know officers. That's not proper protocol. That's not proper protocol. Do your job, man. Do your job effectively. No one up here is against police officers. No one.
Not at all.
We're just against bad cops doing bad stuff. Do your job so this situation won't happen.
Right.
I'm extremely disappointed with what I saw. Cop didn't do his job properly. The police department obviously knew who this guy was. I don't know. He probably not being trained properly. Most of those officers are not being trained properly. That right there was a telltale sign these guys are not getting trained the right way. Because he came out that vehicle, he was on point to kill. Period.
Right.
That's what I saw. That was my interpretation of it. Do your job, man.
Facts.
Do your job. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I feel bad for his family. Definitely feel bad for him. I feel bad for Black America. If I have to go through this once again and again and again and again and again and again. I'm not becoming numb to it. People say they become numb to it. I'm not becoming numb to it.
No.
I don't see how you can become numb to that. It's disturbing. So,
B-more, how you feeling right now?
I mean, me personally, I just think it's crazy to see how cavalier it is to just kill somebody. You know, and I think, I mean, it's such a huge thing. It's not just one thing. You know what I mean? There's so much that goes into the decisions people make, depending or depicting certain people. So, you know, I'll just say that we don't have the whole video. Sometimes the whole video and everything and all the particulars really change your opinion on what's going on. So I don't really have a huge thing right now, but it definitely, from that clip, it it's a lot of things that's wrong with it. You know, if you ask me,
Right.
I don't think you're just supposed to shoot at somebody that's running from you. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's what you're supposed to do unless they're aiming at you or your life is in danger or somebody else's life is in danger that you feel. On top of that, his story was already changing from the moment he had shot him to, I don't know, a minute later. It was already changing. Like, he pulled the gun on him. You said it was in his waistline, and then it went from that to you saying he pulled it on you.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he was saying it was in his waistline and he pulled it out of his waistline and pointed at him. I don't know. I think we need to see the full picture before we really, really judge it. It does look horrible at that moment. It looks horrible. Like, I think they need to change policies when it comes to dealing with people when you can clearly see that the person's not moving and they're dying. I think you should be able to make a decision yourself to holster your weapon
aid.
and possibly administer aid or something like that. To me, it looked like he was. It felt like he was frazzled. You know, when a guy came out and was talking, I'm like, he's talking. Like, you seem like your voice elevated when he started talking. Yeah, he was getting upset, but wouldn't you expect somebody to get upset? You should still be able to be calm. But it was like he was nervous. Like, really, if the guy took any steps towards him, he'd have shot him, regardless of what he had in his hands.
Right.
I just think they need an overhaul, period, honestly. The police department as a whole.
When you say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you say overhaul, for the people listening, they need to have an idea of what the overhaul entails, because so many times what they hear is retraining, go back to training. You have the training. The thing is, what else are you going to overhaul since we said training? What's the next step? Is somebody actually considering imprisoning the officers as a deterrent? Because that doesn't happen. Because for the good officers that speak up and lose the retirement, like the African American woman who reported the white officer being aggressive, and he was aggressive toward her, and when she reported it, she still to this day hadn't got her money.
yeah,
We still trying to,
still to this day.
Yeah, and I have a family member, close relative, that's a police officer, and he says that certain things going against them, it may cost you your life. And I told him, I said, look, man, you can't be out here discriminating, just because they teach you to do that stuff like that. I said, I'm not single-minded where I can just follow along with that if I was to be a police officer. Before I got to this full voluptuous Cadillac figure, when I was in a smaller realm, I was considering being an officer. And and I wouldn't have no problem with pulling my pistol on another officer who was out of line, and being able to maintain and deal with the superiors or whatever who thought that it was wrong of me to, quote unquote, what they consider myself turning on someone else. But again, your job is to protect and serve. When you take the oath to say that you're going to protect the civilians, yeah, and to allow the abuse of the over aggression to continue, it doesn't help a situation. A person that's scared of you, to me, hurts you worse or doesn't trust you. And I don't trust a lot of officers, and the reason being is somebody will say, well, not all our cops are bad, and I know this, but until I find out who's good, I don't trust them. I don't just unram the deal and say, well, they're good. I'd be respectful, I'd be cordial, but in my mind, I'm always thinking like, if one of these officers get out of line, are you all gonna actually put hands on him and stop him? Or you just gonna talk and you gonna tell me the person is being abused or whatever, or you gonna tell me, well, just relax. We got it. We got it. We got no, not relax. He or she is out of control. The issue is de-escalate. Don't de-escalate me. De-escalate that individual who's walking toward me being aggressive, who's raising his voice being aggressive, who's telling the other officer when he get here, grab that guy in a white hat as a I'm gonna assert my authority as a punishment on him since he's out here telling the truth on what he heard and what he seen. So let me quiet him up.
But that's kind
Yeah,
of what
and
Ali said when he was on one show, and he said something about the snakes. He said, if it's a room full of snakes, I'm not going to sit in here and try to figure out which ones are good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna treat them all as they're poisonous and keep myself safe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what you were saying.
So when he's saying explain overhaul, what are you talking about as far as that being more?
If we're just talking about the police in general, you really need to take a fine-tooth comb and go over some people's records and completely just get rid of them. You don't need to be an officer. Training and everything needs to come down. But the problem with even good training, you could put somebody in there and give them good training. The problem is society as a whole. How society values certain people. And until that changes, the attitude in the country and the world won't change. So they can have all the good practices. They could, hey, don't do this, don't do that. And it will help, don't get me wrong. But when you still deem this person less than, or, you know what I mean, like it's the same way you do animals. We like dogs, we like cats, but a rat or a mouse, they need to be, and it's kind of like that when you talk about the scale of human beings. It's like, oh, well, I don't really care about killing these people. And it's not even something that a lot of people are doing overtly. Like it's not like they understand that. It's all psychological through years, through TV programming, through, all the things that's happening in your life. You might not even want to do it, but it's just there. It's still there.
Right.
So.
Now, I've seen plenty of videos where there's been a police shooting, and that police officer will holster their weapon and try to administer aid. Now, his backup was there, right? He could have easily holster his weapon and administer aid. His backup is there. What you waiting for?
Before we've seen one like you mentioned.
What are you waiting
backup
for?
Was there.
What are you waiting for?
He didn't have a weapon.
You have a tourniquet. He's not moving. Go ahead. If you want to go over there and go and search him while he's laying down there, fine. That's part of your job. But at the same time, it is your job as a human being to save human beings' life. That's what's on your badge. Protect and serve.
Okay.
Protect and serve your community. So therefore, if you're searching that man, you need to administer aid at the same time. You ain't gonna let that. You just gonna sit there and let that man bleed out. Tell everybody to back up while we get help. You have help.
No.
Help is already
he
there.
said we can't help him
until
you
we
back
get everybody up.
And wasn't nobody even around the body.
There was nobody around.
Yeah.
What was they 20? Like how far
No
they
one
gotta be
around.
away?
You can see the people that came out that house. They're standing by the door. He's actually
By the
calling that
door.
guy's name. What the guy's name was Rob, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
actually talking to him, and Rob sounds very upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still not going to administer aid? You just going to let this man bleed out, huh? Come on, man. And like B More said, it's the mentality.
If you think he started rendering aid as to save his life, do you think that looks bad against him if he still dies in court for the officer as saying that
No,
why
he's
did you
still liable for what he did, I believe. I like I said at the beginning of the video, we just only got that short clip. So at the beginning of the video, he's still liable of what he did. He shot rounds to an individual's back as he was running away. But at the same time, your job is to protect and serve the community that you're policing. You have a man down. Yes, you did that, but it is your job to help that individual. Now,
okay, I want
now let the courts run its course as far as what they see and what they decide.
Are they trained to see threats though? Threats, not threats. Whether this is a threat or not a threat. That's
what plenty of law officers see, right?
I would assume that would be a thing, and if that's the case, you would have to like, what did he still see a threat in that? Is what I'm trying to understand. Like,
well, okay, the stuff, a lot of the stuff you're saying, I really wish, which I don't even know, it could exist, where it was a place where you have officers or ex-officers that would openly speak about the training that they received during the academy and how is it treated for people that wants to do different or go against certain things. And I'm giving, because I have family in there, and my family said when something goes wrong, the officer says somebody's going to come control the scene and say, let me Monday night quarterback this, which means I'm going to take the lead. We're going to say this is what it is and this is what it is. Whenever we go to court, whatever you see on the video, no matter what, we're going to keep saying this is not what you've seen. He says, so sooner or later, if we keep saying it enough and badgering you with it, you're going to believe that this is not what you've seen. And it's going to be a what if. What if this could have happened? Just like the gentleman in Georgia when he brought the taser back and he shot him. That's not a lethal weapon. But somebody will argue the point, well, you don't know if he got a heart. It's the what if thing. Well, he shot him in the back. Well, and then the officer say, well, what if he'd have tased me and came and got my gun? It's always a what if to make them feel relevant, but then you have that big Asian officer, whatever he was, he went inside the corner store and he thought the guy was stealing bubble gum and he pulled his pistol out. And it's like, you going to go for death over a pack of gum or candy or whatever it was? And the man say he paid for that. And he said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it's no consequences for that. It's no jail time for that. That's not a deterrence. Yeah, it's your thing was to go. You pulled out a deadly weapon, and death was going to be the punishment for stealing this thing that fits in the palm of your hand. This ain't no pocket knife to do no damage. This is something for fresh breath.
Would you do that for his own child? Would you do that for your wife? Would you have done that for an elderly woman?
No,
you know what I mean. So and that's
that.
No. I want to say yes, he would. Depends on who it was. So just like the officer, that's just like the police department that got filed for the Caucasian officer that pulled over the SUV that had an elderly black lady in it and an elderly man. They were husband and wife. When he pushed her up against that deal and was arresting her and told the man to stay back, so to me, the right color at the right circumstances.
You said the magic word, though. You said the magic word.
What?
You said the magic word. You said black elderly woman.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I want to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No. What I was trying to point to is that there is somebody that you wouldn't have responded to that way.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
And if there's somebody that you wouldn't have responded to that way, that pretty much deems that it's probably not pertinent to do it on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to show.
You saying do it the same way across the board. Don't act a certain way for a certain dynamic of people. I feel
because,
like you said, but police departments are not hiring the right people. They're not fine-tooth combing through applications. If they were, they could possibly weed out these individuals that don't need to be having a badge and a gun.
So
you'd have to start at the top.
Absolutely.
Because the ones that have been promoted are the ones that are bringing in. You bringing in these people that they're bringing in may not have been in a mindset when they arrived. So these people are being groomed as they come through. Just like the family member that's a police officer, he's an active lawman now. He explained about the person up there, I believe it was in Houston, when he was going to leave, and the officer unloaded the gun in his back. Fortunately, the gentleman survived. The lady was screaming, jumping up and down. She was hysterical. And again, get back, all this other stuff like there's a threat and you done shot this man. But he didn't have nothing in the vehicle. He was just going to drive off. But that was a deadly force, according to the officer. And he was, instead of trying to fumble to get his gun out, which to me, he looks like he was 5 feet away, why not just tackle him? Why not pull the taser out and just use the taser? But again, lethal. So when I spoke with the family member, we looked at the video, because a lot of times me and this family member who's a law officer, we watch it, but sometimes we try to elect not to watch it because it's so hurtful and you see nothing, no results behind it. And this relative that's an officer said, what they teach you at the academy is to unload the clip. You don't shoot once, you don't shoot twice, you usually unload it. And he said, we'll fix it later. Somebody's going to protect you. You don't have a history of cops all the time going to jail. So why should I believe it?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen that on the one in the fast food parking lot. Which one was that? It was a guy that got killed, I guess, in a fast food parking lot.
Wendy's. That was what I was talking about in Georgia
earlier. Wendy's with the taser.
With the taser.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one? I thought
that's what he was just talking about earlier.
Okay.
And didn't render aid, and I think somebody else said either he stepped on him or looked at him or whatever it was after he shot him.
But did you hear his superiors talking in that video?
Did
you hear what they were saying?
Just long as you all right.
We're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But he's been groomed, because sometimes a thing and his situation, because he's an African American male, and what he walked up on and seen was another African male laying dead, and that falls in the category for me of mental slavery. Like at the community college I was at, an instructor who came from an HBCU, historically black college university. He came down and he asked in the classroom, I'm 47 now, and at the time I believe I was 25, maybe 24. And he asked this question in class. You can't get this answer wrong. You can only get it right. He asked the whole class, give a yes or no and an explanation why. Is it still slavery in the United States? So you had the answers of no, there's no whips and chains, nobody's being hung and lynched. And in the back of my mind, not that you know of, because we're not talking about the man in Jasper whose ears and eyes was missing, who was tied up in the tree, from my understanding, dating a white girl who was fortunately the police chief's daughter. So we're not talking about this recent. So when it came to me, when the gentleman next to me, who happened to be Caucasian, said that it's not that type of slavery, when it came to me, I say, yes, it's slavery. It's mental slavery. And sometimes some people are going against their own in order to please another group, or in order to make it, or to what they think they need to do is make it, in order to sacrifice those or saying, well, hey, he's toxic to the community anyway, but that's not it. It's like grooming that person, and they don't understand that when you're being groomed for this, you're just being tolerated. You're looked at as, hey, well, as with us, you do what we do, regardless of you doing it to your own people, regardless whether it's right or wrong. And it's pleasing them just for the badge or the check or whatever that person has got his mind enslaved in, and thinking that this is what I need to do to make it, when it's not that. I don't need to do that. I can think for myself. Can't nobody walk up and tell me to slap you, B More, just because you said some curse words to him, say you slapped me. Nobody can come tell me that, and then I fall for it. I can come
Well,
up there and talk to you.
yeah, and you got to understand we all got different minds. And
Yeah.
we understand that, and the reason why I say that is because we. How about this? There's a select few of people in this world that have certain morals, certain standings, and they stand on that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a various amount of people that don't. They'll change. They'll switch up depending on what's going on around them, and other people can influence what they're doing. You know, and that's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
You know, we have to understand that, and it's something that we talked about before many occasions. But it's a culture. Police is a culture. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And that's one of the things that needs to be overhauled and changed is the culture overall of what is going on and what you're to do. And you can clearly see that by other countries. You know, if you've ever been to other countries and how they handle things and how they you look at the deaths. Yes, we are a different country. Yes, a lot of things happen differently here, but I beg to differ that you can't treat it differently. You can't police it differently, because they definitely do in other countries. I used to watch this video all the time. You know, I ride bikes, and it's this guy called, I think, the Ghost Rider or whatever. And he goes crazy speeds, you know, and people watch him, and police know about him. They'll pull out on him, but they won't chase him. Not know, I'm about to get you because you breaking the law. No, they literally just let him go, because the consequences of trying to follow him is just not worth it. It's not worth his life. It's not worth anybody else's life. You know what I mean? Yes, he shouldn't be doing it, but you know what I mean? There's a fine line between what's worth it, what isn't. And one thing they could do is always decide, say, he's got to stop someday. We're going to catch him someday. And when we do, you know, here it is. We got, you know, so.
It's kind of like the kids with the dirt bikes in the inner cities and stuff like that. Like, you know, the cops don't even mess with them anymore.
All the time in Baltimore.
It's not worth chasing them anymore, because you're going to end up getting one of them killed, causing an accident. Just let them do what they do. You know, certain things ain't worth it. Definitely. It was one more clip that I wanted. I know the other two guys saw it. I don't know if you saw this, Raven. This is a different scenario where a brother doesn't end up dying. I'd rather see those scenarios all day long.
Okay.
And to see what your thoughts is on this.
Before you started, what state was this in?
This was in Virginia.
Okay.
It happened at the Lynhaven Mall in Virginia Beach. All right. So I'll preface this. Basically, the police officer was looking for a young man with dreads in all black, and he had a young man with him that had a red shirt on, and I think they were looking for this person because they were had a stolen credit card.
Yep.
So just about to share this to y'all.
What?
Y'all hear it?
You do this in public? You can't tell me walk outside.
What did he do? We
In
just
front of my family?
But he did nothing. Y'all got the wrong person. We don't even have a black truck.
A black truck, bro?
We don't have a
When
black
did
truck. We
they-
just came to the mall. What did he say?
But you know, I know. We'll record this. I'm taking out the court, bro.
Okay, but don't
You
snap.
serious?
But what did he do?
No, you let me talk to you. You like you got these cuffs on me. Take me
Dave,
to,
don't snap.
Take me to the
It's
front,
fine. But what did he
Take me
do?
to the front now. Y'all
Can you
gonna
tell
drag
us?
me
We
in front
just
of
came
my
with our family. We don't even have a black truck.
No, get off me. Don't take me
Jamar, don't snap. Wait a second. Come here. Come record this. Record. Follow them. Follow them. What did he do? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Get these flames straight to me, nigga.
Jamar, what are you doing? Y'all fucking racist as fuck. We ain't here with our family.
Are you serious right now, dog?
What? No, y'all, this is so fucking
Get off me, bro,
embarrassing.
and get these cuffs
We
off
are with our family. I got my baby here, a newborn. Why do y'all have him?
and get these cuffs.
But what did he do? He didn't do anything.
I know I'm
Wrong,
gonna
got my ass. We with our fucking kids. You don't do that. That is so. You know what's going on in the fucking world today. We with our fucking kids.
I'm going to jail. We
don't do nothing. We stay in the house. He didn't do nothing. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
Your man just said it's
You
wrong
can't
man.
fucking.
He's still on me?
It might be the wrong one.
It is the wrong person. We told you asked him about a black truck, and we said y'all didn't even give him. Y'all didn't give him a chance to explain. You said, do you have a black truck? He doesn't. We don't even drive a black truck.
That nigga's arrest me while I'm eating?
With our fucking kids.
What am I?
Okay, relax.
No!
You ask questions first, though.
But y'all fucked up.
But that's fucked up. You don't do that. We're with our kids, but you ask questions first. You didn't even give him a chance to ask a fucking question.
No!
You can't expect him not to be upset. You can't expect him. We with our fucking kids in the mall. That was so embarrassing.
Are you serious?
But you ask questions. I get it if you thought he fit the profile of somebody else. But ask him a question.
What's his name?
You didn't even ask the question.
Something come. You're gonna see me again.
But you ask. You can't. But you don't do this. We're with our kids. You think he'll forget this? You think my son will forget
Take him
this?
off me.
And I would like to
I know you would
Please,
take him off me.
Jamar, let him take them off. Just let
Man
him take
came
them
to
off.
arrest me while I'm eating, no words?
And I would like to explain.
No, ain't no explaining.
Okay. You're free to go, and I would like
Yo,
to explain
just
to you
take these
what's going
fucking
on.
cuffs off me and don't talk to me, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
Come on,
I
let's
got
go.
your name. What's
Let's
your name?
just go. We're leaving.
All right, I'm gonna see your ass again, bitch.
It's all right. Just
Fuck wrong with
come
you,
on,
man?
let's go.
Arrest
We
me while I'm
leaving.
eating, no questions.
It's
Don't
fine.
move.
I would
Don't
like
move.
to explain to you what's going
Wait,
on.
I don't give a
You
fuck
can
what's
explain
going
to me.
on.
I
You
wanna
can
know.
Explain it before you put the cuffs on me.
Take him. Go ahead. Y'all go. Y'all go.
Bitch,
Explain to me what
fucked up,
happened.
dog.
This man,
I want to know.
we got a description of someone that was using stolen credit cards, okay?
Don't let
That
me.
person
I got it. Let me listen.
is a black male with dreads and was wearing all black and was with a boy that was wearing red. Okay? I could show you the case. He's wearing all black.
So this is them right over here.
Come on, yo.
Black man with dreads.
Another black male with red dreads.
Boy with red.
But the thing is, y'all.
I sincerely apologize. It was a
I mean, y'all just that was so embarrassing.
If he was using
And then he
a
had-
stolen
Man, you put me in
credit
handcuffs while I'm
card
taking a
and
bite
had
from
stolen
myself.
vehicle, then I wouldn't have talked to him about it. I would have just taken him into custody and detained him, okay?
Nah, bro.
I understand
You did
it's
that shit all
embarrassing.
Do you have a card?
I sincerely
You did that shit all wrong.
apologize. I
It's-
You did
sincerely
that shit all wrong. That was professional.
It's fine. It's
That was
alright.
nothing.
Fair enough.
Do you have a card?
And that's how y'all do black
It was
motherfuckers,
definitely
dog. And it's just
stereotyping
what we
because
fighting
things
for
could have
now.
been
That's
handled
what
in
we
a different
fighting
way.
for now.
It
That's what
definitely
y'all do
is.
to us. That's why we fighting for this shit now.
I understand.
Can I have a card
This
from
how we get
somebody?
treated in 2020. In
You
2020.
can have a name.
I
That's
understand.
how I get treated,
That's
bro.
fine.
You have the right to be upset, sir.
That's why we fighting. That's why they fucking y'all up.
You have the
It's
right
all right,
to be upset.
babe. It's all right.
That's why, bitch.
It's all right. It's fine. We leaving. I'll take the name and the number.
2020, nigga.
That's
Since the
crazy.
fucking 70s.
Somebody I can contact outside of this environment right now.
2020.
So she can have my name. Sergeant K.
What we march for? What we say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, that's what we say.
Yes, sir.
Look how y'all treat us.
My badge
In front of people. Like I'm the wrong motherfucker.
It's fine, babe.
I own
Let's go.
businesses.
It's all right.
Just give her the
Black Lives Matter, y'all see why we fight. Fuck niggas.
Okay. So, here's my thoughts.
Let's hear it.
I feel like, honestly, I think being a police officer is one of the toughest jobs out there. Is definitely one of the toughest jobs out there. I
Agreed.
commend this officer for staying calm and making sure that he was able to de-escalate the situation. As we saw, he was a black man with dreads and all black, and he had a boy with a red shirt with him.
Yep.
He fit the description to
That
a
wasn't
T.
that wasn't a boy. That was a grown woman with a red shirt, red hoodie.
Okay. Oh, she like a boy to me too. So I'd have been all messed up in the game.
Nah.
that was a woman with a red shirt.
That was a woman with a red shirt on.
Get out of here. So you just messed up my whole little speech I was about to give. Troy.
And the thing is, if you're looking for someone little, they're little. That's a
Okay.
description, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, they just said it was a boy. They didn't say little. They just said it was a boy. A boy. My son is just as tall as me, and he's a boy.
I'm just going by what the officer said.
Right. Right.
True.
I'm just going by what he said. So
Okay.
and like you said, it's a tough job. I don't mean to cut you off. It is
no,
an
you're good.
extremely tough job.
Uh-huh.
And it takes a different person to do that job and do it well.
Yes.
Do it well. Right.
Yes. Yes.
All I'm asking you to do is do your job and do it well.
Yep.
That's it.
So
and like you said, I do commend him on him calming down.
He
keeping it
stayed calm.
I do.
The
He
whole
didn't
time.
escalate it. He didn't escalate it.
Nah, because he could have. If he was one
He
of
could have.
them cops that we're talking about earlier,
Yep.
this could have took a turn for the worse.
I do commend him on that.
Regardless of all the profanities he was throwing his way.
Yes.
He
I mean, he
still,
actually
I
made
apologize. I sincerely apologize. I can understand his case. I would, I would say that I wish that he would have calmed down. I didn't think it needed that much, but at the same time, I can't say that.
You can't say that.
I can't say that because I don't know how I would feel being
arrested
in front of your kids, in front of my family, in front of
everybody.
In front of everybody. But more importantly, it would have been my family looking at me being handcuffed. And from what she was saying, it was like they didn't even ask. They didn't give him a chance to explain anything. They just put it on. That's the only thing I would fault in saying. But again, we could go in all day on so many decisions. And without me doing the job, I know that it has to be difficult every day. Every moment of every day dealing with people and making sure that you make the right decision all the time. But I again, like y'all, I give him credit because he owned up. He said, look, man, I apologize. Basically, I'm sorry that this happened to you. This is what we were looking for. And it's like you have to understand both sides of that to the best of your ability. Understand. He still has a job to do.
He did a good job as far as that's concerned. Absolutely.
As far as that's concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Jay. I'll cut you off, but go ahead.
Yeah. No. I mean, we pretty much all agree on that aspect. I don't know about Raven, because he's still thinking on it. But
because I see it too much down south. Like I don't agree with none of it. I don't give him no pass. None of the rest of his buddies. Get your description right, fam, before you come do that to me.
And that's the one thing.
You don't know if I had handcuffs on me before. And
that's the one thing.
My thinking is because it's been done to me so many times. That's why I mentioned to the other operator with me on the job. I told a white operator. He said he had black friends. Brought me collard greens and stuff, banana pudding from the dude. And I said, I normally don't explain discrepancies to people of the opposite color because it doesn't happen to them, so they don't see it, or they always thinking that we going to race for the wrong reason. I say, but I'm finna tell you what to watch for. They keep moving him every time they come to me. I said, they already told you they want you down here because they're not sure something. I say, back home in Texas, they'd already shifted me off the job with that. I say, this is what they do. I say, they start low-key coercing they other guys who may not be thinking that way. So you start brainwashing them subtle moves. Well, let's just take such and such. And then you don't think there's nothing wrong with the other guy. Well, you just, let's do this here. Because he did a good job on that, so I want to keep him. So for you know it, you team this guy and not team the other guy. But you just got low-key brainwashed. And so here, I done been to jail. I don't want to ask you guys on camera, had y'all ever had handcuffs put on y'all and had a record, had been taking a trip down into the police station for the wrong reason, and the cop don't show up in the court and everything like that. And then you watch your brother and the cop tell him it'll be another Rodney King if you don't start walking. So he walks home. So I done seen this here stuff. Wow. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I'm alive. I'm thankful, my brother didn't get beat up after the witness came there and said that it wasn't us. And I went to jail for just one B word after he told me to keep my hands on the car. But back to this story. The gentleman is there. It is embarrassing. And I don't know if this gentleman has had handcuffs on him before or not. Did he escalate? Yeah. Because to me, it can seem like it's a lot for him escalating. But what if, I don't know. I'm going to do the what if like they always do. He see this stuff on TV all the time. He know what could have possibly happened, in Louisiana with the Katrina deal, all this other stuff. Guy walks up and say, somebody left my brother dead. I asked the cops for help. I'm talking to the cops. While I'm talking to him, the other cop drive off with my brother in the car. Find him dead. They dig the bullet out of his skull. all this stuff. So if you want to throw kind of what if on it, it's always a what if. My thing is, don't arrest me unless you're sure. Don't put your handcuffs on me if you're sure. You can't undo this. Whatever you finna do to me, say to me, and put me through, you can't undo it. And I don't want to hear your justification on what you was taught, because this is always happened in slavery. I seen the movie Rosewood. Even though
Rosewood,
it seems like,
definitely.
Rosewood in Florida, it started off, he's this, and everybody, we gonna look for this person. Well, you gonna round up everybody. You know how many people walking around? 3 of y'all got on hat wear right now. 2 of you got on hoodies. A brother with a hoodie. Is he light skinned, mocha, brown, dark? What color is the hoodie? Navy blue at the right light look like black. Dark enough shade gray look like black in the right angle. In the evening time, y'all get dark down here in Delaware at 5 o'clock, sundown. I don't want you putting your hands on me in front of my son. I don't know how old this kid was. I don't know how old his daughter was. What you can do is walk up and you can ask me some questions. And if I'm seeming like I'm fleeing, then I get that you may want to detain me because of but not right off the bat is you done got to jump on me and put me on handcuffs, because at that time, my excuse is what I was explaining from my family member. Putting the hands on you is as assault. It's called unwanted touch. So to me, if once he'd have grabbed his hand, if he'd have turned around and slapped the fire at the lawman, everybody would have said, and this is what I explained to this family member, at what point are we allowed to defend ourselves and speak up for what's right or go against it? Why do we always have to say, this lawman is going to do right? We stop and listen to what he say. Let him set us in the back of the police car. Let him put us in these dog shackles in front of everybody else. When do we not go this? Because they don't do all the white kids like that. When they smoke weed and stuff like that, they let them go. When I'm sitting there at the food store, I come back, egg on my car. The lawman got the white kid just wiping all the eggs off the car. You ain't take him to jail for none of that. How many black kids have had run-ins with the officer? You have to really sit down and ask other African Americans, males, just in general conversation. It don't have to be live. And how many run-ins with the police you had, and how many of them have been bad? Or did you get a record on it for that? Because that's the goal. The family member said, hey, they target Cadillacs, Buicks. He said if it's more than one driver in there, they always say pull them over because they're going to get a hit on somebody else in the car. I told this individual, you need to don't hang out with these young dudes. Why do you got to have a gun with so many bullets? You already fallen into the loop of what they training you. You don't have to pull that weapon. You are a reserve officer, means you working for free on a Wednesday night. Why do you need to go lethal? You don't need that. He said, well, the crooks got big guns. I said, if they got big guns, that's above your pay grade. Ain't you saying your job is free? You know, because this is like part-time fill-in. If he got a bigger gun than you, that's SWAT job. That ain't you. You protect and serve. You can only protect and serve with that little. You work with somebody older who teaches you how to de-escalate, who may carry a revolver. He ain't worried about how many times he can throw his clip out his gun and put a nut in. This ain't TV. So he worked with an older officer. I said, well, what did you learn? He said, the older officer told me when you pull somebody over, you pull the driver over for the infraction. He's the one driving the car. If he didn't use his blinker, that's what you pulled him over. The other people in the car not driving. He said, you don't interrogate everybody else. They didn't create the infraction. You don't make them feel uncomfortable. If it's somebody in there with a warrant, it ain't my job to sit here and interrogate the whole car and find it and say that I'm checking out everybody. I deal with the driver. I write them a ticket and I go home safe to my wife and my kids. I don't look for that individual that say, well, they may had a warrant. I don't want to hear I may had a warrant, because we always get that. I come up there to go celebrate chicken wings in the parking lot. I get out, get ready to go in. My brother say, wait till I come. I said, all right. I tell the wife, what's a police officer right there? He gonna watch the cars. He's the parking lot security. We sit back in the car. Before we know it, the lawman circling the car. He get out, ask me what my driver's license. I tell him why I'm here. I'm eating chicken wings. It's my brother's birthday. I don't even make eye contact because he's white and he's already doing no good. He tells me when he sees my Tech City driver's license and I know I'm an hour and 20 minutes away from Tech City, why didn't you eat chicken wings in your own town?
Wow.
I ain't had no answer for him. I don't know why we ain't eating chicken wings in my town. This was what my brother wanted to celebrate. He's going, oh, I done mess around and told him. But I'm like, this individual is coming here because he was doing police academy. He wanted to come eat these wings here because this was in training. He said he know the guy. So after that, I go in the establishment and look around. I see one table that would look like me. I say, excuse me, is that man on your payroll outside? Is he watching everybody? Because I'm going to explain this to you. I'm not telling nobody else that look like me, nobody to come up here. I heard you got good chicken wings, but ain't nobody chicken wings that good. That way we go and get interrogated like that. And when a guy tells me and my soon-to-be wife, we look suspicious. From sitting in the car, we just got out and sat back in it. What did we do wrong? We right here in front of the restaurant, 2 lots over, no 2 rows. I mean, how bad is that? But hey, it is what it is. And then not knowing what you knowing and then not being taught on questions to ask, the chief calls and asks us what you think should be done. So what did we do? Give him well, just set him behind the desk or something. He shouldn't be talking to people like that. We don't know the law. What we should have done was said, no, you're going to see us in court. We got money now. Y'all are starting to listen now and punish others now. Back in the day, the cops hung us and everything, and it was all legal. Now times are gradually changing. So now instead of giving you slap on the wrist, we need to see if we can incarcerate you or put this on your record. I need to listen to the other officers like I did at the washateer when I listened to the female officer who was African American. When I said, as a cop came up to me when I was exercising and he said, hey, man, how you doing? He said, you a big dude. I see you out here walking. I should be out here walking, too. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, okay, he's genuine or something. How long is the lapse? I say it's half a mile. He said, I'm going to double check for you. He drive his SUV around. He come back. Yeah, man, you're right, blah, blah, blah. No, you thinking, but I'm thinking innocent.
Yeah.
She tells me, no, he's still searching. He's looking. He called you over.
Yep.
He wants to see if you smell like anything. He wants to see if you're doing anything. He's still interrogating. You just didn't know what he was doing. And then I got pissed off. Oh, excuse me. I got upset again.
Oh no, you good. You good.
I got food. You see what I'm saying? Right. I got food. I got showed something sweet when it wasn't sweet. Yeah. It was this. So that's why I say the trust ain't there. And it shouldn't be like that, but I've been tampered with emotionally too much for me to have a trust. Right. And even if they come looking like me, if I'm listening to some of your conversation, it doesn't sound like you about protecting me and you look like me, you just as bad. Because you're gonna turn your back on me when they treat me wrong. They kicking me and they just like that man sitting there, Floyd, laying there. And I had a friend say, I said, if I was there, I would have stayed. She said you couldn't have done it. It had to be a woman to do it. And I said, a woman, or you have to think. Because if another African-American male would intervene, they would have easily killed you. But how many videos do they pull a pistol out and kill a woman? So she would have been able to get away with interfering and taking him off his neck. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot going to this. And I know I don't want to take it away. That cop he may need to be commended for not going off. But just like they say the what if and all this other stuff, I'm doing the what if too. Because I done seen too much. I don't want to hear, bro. I'm here with my wife and kids. And my French fries cold now.
Yeah.
It's exacerbated though. You know what I mean? Because of everything that you've been through in your life, everying that we see. And that goes on both sides.
It shaped everything the way I feel. I shouldn't be like that, but it did it already, bro. And I can try to control it.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
You only have, all of us human beings only have our experience to go off of and the knowledge that we have and the understanding, right? So that's why, I've said it on here before. That's why I'm not upset at people anymore when they don't see my way, when they don't understand what I'm saying or where I'm coming from when it comes to all of these things. And the reason why I'm not upset is because you have lived your own life. It wasn't mine. You have your own experiences. You have your own thought process on how you see things. I'm not mad at you about that. But don't come and try to tell me what I see is absolutely wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
All
right. Sorry about cutting y'all off, man.
I ain't never. Hey, you're the guest, man. Once you start talking, we shut up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't never
We-
been on nothing live like this where we doing this here. You know, I ain't
Nah,
used on, like I said, I just did
it's
the
dope.
FaceTime. I ain't get a cell phone in 2011, and it was a flip. This still a
Oh my
go phone,
God.
baby, $79.99.
There you go, man. You stepping your game up. Let's
You
Yeah,
sound like me. You sound like me for real.
y'all got these fancy high power microphones. I see them, man, and I got here with this earbuds 2 for $5 at the dollar store.
But hey, we still hear you. It's
Yeah, man.
working. It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
But
Yep.
so yeah. So after all of that, I mean, we had a good talk, definitely. And I'm gonna leave the last words to Detroit. Your thoughts overall on everything that we just saw tonight.
My thoughts overall is we have to do better. As a whole, as a human race, we have to do better. I'm tired of seeing people of color get injured, shot at, hurt. I'm tired of seeing people of color being not positively identified properly. Even though he did his so-called investigation, he could have done it a little bit better at the beginning. We have to do better at our jobs, at what we do in our family life, and what we do socially. We have to do better. And that was evident in these videos. I hope everyone takes a look in the mirror and say, you know what? From this point on, I need to be a better person. Because if we get more better people, we get better results. That's how I feel, and that's how I'm going to leave it.
True. Thanks for listening, everybody. Remember to be sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
What y'all
Smoke
know
Mirrors
about those
Uncut.
Texas boys?
Oh yeah, and Raven.
Say, hey, everybody, y'all all from Jersey or Delaware area?
We all from
I heard
Jersey.
you say Detroit. Is that where your home is?
Detroit.
That's just my name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all from
I'm-
Jersey. We all
We're all
Jersey.
from Jersey.
Well,
Except for B-More.
he from
B-More is
B-More.
No.
He from Baltimore?
B-More is from
Oh!
Baltimore.
Yeah, he got the Ravens hat on. I see that.
Yeah,
My second
yeah.
favorite football
Matter of
team.
fact, you ain't that far from Baltimore too. You can go down there. I know he can tell you some spots down there to get some black on.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
black-owned ice cream parlor I went to over there across from this Jamaican shop, but I just don't know where it's at no more. So I didn't go down there because I went in there to get it, and that's the first time I seen. What was this? Probably about 2016. It's the first time I seen somebody. I didn't know that African American and owned an ice cream parlor, but I see it out here now. But I told him, he said, you came to do that. And I said, hey, now that I know you serving this, hey, if I'd have knew about it, I'd have been over here a long time ago because I was looking for soul food. And some of the people up there didn't know it. They sent me to the Jamaican shop to get the roti bread, oxtails, and cabbage. And I'm like, it's close enough to soul food. I seen the ice cream thing across the street. I'm like, I'm going to get over there and give me some of that.
For sure.
So what part of Texas you're from again?
Way down south, right before Galveston.
Okay.
So if you heard of Houston, I'm like 40 minutes south of Houston.
Okay, good.
So in a small town, Lamarck, it's mostly African American. In Lamarck, the neighboring towns of Tech City, where you have a lot of refineries, and then Galveston.
Yeah.
So we were a couple of hurricanes did the damage. We always had a hurricane scare down south. Y'all have snow scares up here.
Yeah.
And barely lately.
I know,
barely.
right? So before we get off, Raven, man, hey man, why don't you shout out your wife, shout out your family, shout out your Texas hood, shout them out, man.
How you doing, Galveston County and Houston? And I hopefully I'll be having a good safe trip back Wednesday, and it'll be good to get down there and get my hands on some of that southern cuisine, some of the ice cream that got a little more calories than maybe what I'm used to somewhere. I haven't had ice cream since I left, so I'll be itching to get back down there. See my mother, she turned 88. I turned 47 on the road. First time spending it away from home, so I'm ready to get down there, hug everybody, gonna get a COVID test to make sure I'm good before I kind of expose myself to them. And glad to meet these three brothers out here. I work with Jason personally. His wife was blessed me with some Soul Food Cuisine, and
Yeah,
then
we
the other
seen
brother.
Yep,
Yo,
we
he
saw it.
showed you? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
Okay.
I thought I
And
saw
you
you,
you
but
was
I was
hyped
like,
too, man. You was hyped up for that too,
Oh,
bro.
the plate. When I made the plate, you talking about? Oh, you talking about when you talking about when you unwrapped it and you was filming it? Okay, because I sent him pictures of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you do it right here. See, 'cause, and I was gonna show Jason how my mother ate it. She's from Louisiana, and she eat the
oh
greens. She
yeah,
take the cornbread and mix with her hands. And I said, Mama, why you eating it like that? She said, 'cause it tastes better like that. I said, it tastes better. So when me and my younger brother tried it, and the juice from the greens start going down your finger, and you licking, I said, it do taste better, because we were chasing that bad boy all the way around the wrist. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a new one. Wrist licking good, huh?
Yeah.
That's a
Wrist
new one.
looking good.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the hospitality, and it's a motivation here, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do. I support all businesses, but I want to try to support more of African American business. I don't have a problem with supporting white establishment. I just don't want to get caught up in ignoring the people that look like me with the everyday struggle. I think they need our business just as well as I'm comfortable with giving my money somewhere else. I need to be even more comfortable with sharing it with the people that go through the same struggle that I go through. So that's why I search up Black-owned banks, hotels, restaurants that eat at, and I make it my business to tell them I came here because of that. It feels good. If I'm driving home, we stop off. The old man on the place, he said, you stopped by because this was Black-owned place? I said, yes, sir, I did. He said, well, I sure appreciate it. Let me get this food ready for you.
yeah.
Just made him feel good. I didn't go through what he went through. He's seen way worse, and he's still here. We complaining about the things that we seen, and then imagine what they seen at 88, 90 years old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm blessed to be here making this good bread, and Jason standing there with them clean shoes on and everything, and ain't got no scars on his hand from not working hard on the job.
His hands are soft. His hands are soft like pillows.
Baby butter. Can't take me away.
I worked hard all my life, so when I get a chance to not to, I won't. Trust me.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
I worked hard all my life.
Oh my life. For sure.
Oh, man.
For sure. But it's been great having you on, Raven, and we're gonna have to have you on again too, brother. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome for sure.
Hopefully it be some, do the podcast just involve this, or do we?
Nah,
we talk about everything.
We talk about
Okay.
We talk about a lot of relationship stuff, current topics, sports, like whatever we feel like talking about. That's what we talk about. So. And I'm sure you got a lot of insights on a lot of different categories. So,
yeah,
for sure. All right, but it's been real.
Okay.
Everybody, check us out again, and we'll get at y'all.
Chill.